bandaged and was still living at the hospital. And his father had set him on fire. And I couldn't comprehend this. I couldn't even comprehend it. But something in me said, just encourage him. Just encourage the perfection and the beauty that this child is. And so I learned to look beyond all his burns and just see this wonderful little 9-year-old kid. And he was this wonderful artist, and he would draw me these beautiful pictures. And he drew me this picture, and it was of Wonder Woman, and he said, "This is you, Liesa." And I said, "Oh, thank you." And I still have that picture today. It was done in pencil, and he did all kinds of pictures. And I've often wondered whatever happened to him. And then another little boy who was much younger, he was only about 3 or 4 years old, and his name was Daniel. And Daniel was born with no arms. And he was the cutest little thing, and I just loved him. But he wanted to be able to play the guitar. And he couldn't figure out why he couldn't play the guitar, and other kids in the room could. And then he took the guitar, I'll never forget this, it was just kind of a little toy guitar. But he took it and he said, "Oh, I guess that's what my feet are for," and figured out how to do it with his toes. Now, I tell you this because these kids were my encouragers. I wasn't encouraging them. They were showing me. And one of the things that Guy Finley talks about in the book on courage, The Courage to Be Free, is he's got a whole chapter in here about the worst thing that we could do when we're trying to have courage to overcome is letting go of feeling sorry for ourselves, of self-pity. And he has this to say about it. The secret attraction behind self-pity, why it's so hard to set it down, is that the part of us that feels like nothing makes the part of us that points out this nothingness feel quite special. Which means that we think this is the only way that I can feel special is because I have this hardship. But I noticed that these kids, the last thing in the world they wanted was to be special. They wanted to be just like everybody else. The last thing in the world I wanted when my own son was little and wearing a green helmet and standing out in public was not to be special, but to just be like everybody else. So as an encourager, I think that we, through this thing called compassion, through this thing called love, and through the courage of saying, what can I look through? What eyes can I look through to see the greatest possibility in this person? And to help them be their best. To help them be that person that you say, do you know that you're stronger than you think you are? You know, you're braver than you believe, and that I believe in you. If we can say that to each other, how we bring out the very best in one another, that we can make all the difference in the world. And we think it's about courage. We think it's about how hard this is for me. But maybe we can change our focus instead of saying, this isn't about me. This is about letting the light come through. You know, Jesus said that how you treat the least of them is how you treat me. And that's a reminder to us to remember how we treat each other and the good that we can bring out in one another. And that takes courage. That takes courage in ourselves and the courage to see that in another person. So today, as you go about your business of life, I would just invite you to pay attention to who you see in your life, who maybe is acting courageously. Maybe they just need somebody behind them to say, I really acknowledge what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. And I choose my friends very carefully, and I want you to be my friend. I want to support you on your journey and be a person of great encouragement because I believe in you. Let's have a prayer.